So it looks like more chaos has broken out. The debate just finished a couple hours ago, and what we've got here is a very odd conversation and interaction between Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders that tells us that there's something going on between them. Okay, everything is not good. So let's go ahead and check this out. So as you see, Warren goes in. Bernie holds out his hand for a handshake. He says, "What there?" And it's tough. Okay, see, and then he walks away. He puts up his hands and stuff like that. So I can't really figure out what Warren says here. But what you can see, obviously, is Bernie reaches out his hand for a handshake. She does not reciprocate in terms of, giving him the handshake. Which is telling me that, Elizabeth Warren is trying to send a message or something. Some people were trying to say that Elizabeth Warren was apologizing, but then why would she... My thing about that is, why would she not shake his hand? Why would she reject the handshake if it were true that in this scenario, Elizabeth Warren is not, is trying to apologize to him? That doesn't make any sense, you know what I mean? So, you can see here, I think you see Bernie is like, yo, like, what the hell? That's what it looks like to me. And then there's one thing that I'm for sure about, and it is that at this point he says, "You know me." Oh, see, actually, now this is where it gets to speculation. So he's either saying, "You and me, we're done," or he's saying, "You know me, we're done." Then he throws his hands up and then backs off. And it's all speculation. I'm not saying what I'm saying here is 100% correct. So don't, quote me on this 100%. I'm just trying to decipher it, and everyone's going to have their own opinions. But if you can see here, he clearly says, he either says "you and me" or "you know me," and then he says, "We're done," and he walks away. Tom Steyer trying to talk to him, and they go their separate ways, obviously. Very awkward. Tom Steyer was actually asked about this by Anderson Cooper, and his response was basically... there was something awkward going on. I was trying to do my thing ASAP, which doesn't really look like it very much. But what Tom Steyer said in response to Anderson Cooper's question is there's obviously something going on here between Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. Now, Elizabeth Warren is a fucking snake. She is a slimy, slithering snake who stabbed Bernie Sanders in the back. She's like the Kevin Durant of the political world, okay? Remember how KD snaked the Thunder and went to the Warriors? That's basically what Elizabeth Warren is doing here, okay? She continuously claims that Bernie Sanders said a woman couldn't win, so fuck you, Elizabeth Warren, you slimy little bastard. And I feel bad for Bernie Sanders, because it seems like no matter how nice he is, how gloves off he is, how ridiculously opposition with Elizabeth Warren he is, it seems like Warren is sort of relentless in her approach. Obviously, she's been lying about being Native American for decades, so she seems to be a serial liar at that. But there clearly seems to be some beef going on, and I think that at this point their relations are probably done. I really have a hard time believing that something like a vice presidency would be, in order for, for Elizabeth Warren. But what I'm trying to figure out is, it looks like he's saying, when he says this, he says you. I think he says "you and me." And then he says, "We're done," throws his hands up and says, "Okay, like, fuck off," basically. He's, one person can only take so much horse shit. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible to take a certain amount. At some point, you're just like, you know what? You just reach your threshold and you're like, you know what? Just fuck off type of thing. That's what it looks like Bernie is going through here. But Elizabeth Warren is shameful. Go to her Twitter account, go to her Instagram account, everything, YouTube channel, whatever. Post snake emojis in her comments to everything. Everyone's doing it, you can see. Because she's a snake. Also, you can actually contact Act Blue if you go to actblue.com. I think there's a contact form you can go to ask for your refund if you donated to Elizabeth Warren. Refund that and then donate that money to Bernie Sanders, okay? So make sure to do that as well, and voice your displeasure with her in general on social media. So this is a very sad state of affairs, and Elizabeth Warren is a slimy snake.